the Oculus virtual reality device and why you should be a part of the future. In the 1980s, the concept of virtual reality was merely a high-tech luxury that was only seen in Hollywood movies. Popular films such as Tron and Back to the Future 2 tantalized their audience with the futuristic virtual commodities that sparked the public's interest. As the years progressed, so did the public's appeal to the technological advancements, ultimately feeding into Hollywood's fantasy that birthed more movies such as Spy Kids. Hollywood not only predicted VR, but gave a visual representation of what the amazing future of virtual reality had in store for us. Today, those fantasies of virtual reality are reality. Now that's enough talk of Hollywood movies and past ideas of mere fantasy. It's time I introduce you to the future, the Oculus virtual reality. It is covered in a generous amount of foam and knit mesh. The bands are made of spandex and Velcro, making it easy to adjust and stretch. Oculus claims its LCD technology is speedy and features 32 to 64 gigabytes of storage. Oculus is the most convenient and affordable headset available today, especially considering its recent cooperation with Samsung. In addition to convenience and affordability, it is so simple to use. The gear can monitor the position of your head in 3 degrees so as to convenience the user. The touch controller is also simple to use and light in weight. The Oculus can be used as an entertainment system, allowing others to watch their favorite Netflix shows as well as movies. The device can serve to purpose a variety of benefits aside from entertainment. If you are an art major or someone who simply enjoys to occasionally paint, you'll most definitely appreciate the next feature that the VR has to offer. With this device, you can bring your illustrations to life and indulge into your very own world. Or perhaps you love to travel. You'd like to see the world and experience new adventures. With the Oculus Go, you can experience all these things and more, all within the comfort of your very own home. A major change that the Oculus Rift would bring would be impacting our social interactions. Instead of having to travel for work via meeting or conference, these could easily be attended by going there via Oculus. More importantly, its futuristic technologies can be incorporated into schools and classrooms all over the world. Predictions are that by 2019, virtual reality will start becoming mainstream, and some of the major players in education and technology sectors, including Google and Facebook, are already pursuing applications for the classroom. To give you an idea of how VR will eventually facilitate learning, we will take a look at some of the most notable examples of how virtual reality is already being used by schools and learning institutions all over the world. Virtual field trips have become one of the most popular applications of VR technology for learning, and many schools have begun using Google Expeditions to transport students to faraway places, even inaccessible parts of the world. At the high school level, the Oculus can provide virtual tours of potential college campuses that students may be interested in. These campus visits allow students to see what it would be like to attend these universities in other cities and countries, even if they can't visit them in person. The device can even help to develop language immersion, as it is one of the best ways to learn a new language, as it requires students to listen to and speak the language in a fluent environment. Most of us can't afford a jet off to another city for weeks or even months at a time. Virtual immersion can be our best option. Virtual reality simulators can trick the brain into thinking these experiences are real, and a number of new language learning apps that are used on VR are now being developed. The app allows learners to connect with people from all over the world and practice their language skills while playing games and interacting with other students in the virtual world. Schools are finding that virtual reality technology is a great way to spark students' interest and creativity and keep them engaged, especially when it comes to architecture and design. The Oculus Rift hardware makes it possible for architects to take computer-generated 3D models and place viewers into those 3D models in order to bring their plans to life. For example, at a primary school in Ireland, students have already begun using VR to construct 3D models of historical Irish sites and visit them virtually. More importantly, the technology is a major breakthrough for those in the medical field, as a new wave of VR programs are breathing to life with this cutting-edge technology. The Surgeon Stimulator is bringing the ER to the VR. The program gives medical trainees the freedom to explore and manipulate a lifelike human heart. Virtual reality eliminates a lot of the complexity by letting people go inside the heart and see what's happening for themselves. From gamers to life-saving surgeons in the medical field, the Oculus is clearly one of the best purchases that anyone can make. With prices starting as low as $199, what are you waiting for?
Once again, I'm Paula Saldivar. This was my presentation on the Oculus VR, and here I am inviting you to be a part of the future.